Fallout New Vegas is a beloved game by fans of the franchise and fans of Bethesda and Obsidian in general. Now that this iconic game is coming up to its 11-year anniversary, we thought we'd talk about our good and bad experiences with the game, what Fallout New Vegas means to us, and how the game stands up to modern standards and newer titles in the series. Excluding Fallout 76, of course, we don't talk about that one. Hey everyone, my name's Callum from Adamo Gaming, and today we're joined by...
Hello everyone, I'm Ben, and today we are looking at Fallout New Vegas.
Arguably, everybody's favourite Fallout game.
Arguably. It wasn't my favourite, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I can see why people enjoy it more.
It's my job today to convince you otherwise.
And I'll be looking forward to it.
Good, because you better strap in. So, obviously, the one thing Fallout has in the series, obviously, is VATS, and that's come out in full force in New Vegas. Still, only go for the head, because why would you go for anything else? And it's just, I feel like it's the best iteration of VATS in this game. You can fight me on that, because I feel like you will, but I just feel like in New Vegas, VATS is just the best.
I'll definitely fight you for it. I found it way too powerful, way too easy. I mean, Fallout 3's was very similar, but the cripple system was nowhere near as good as it is in this, and if you just target anything's legs or head, they're just completely out of the game. Shoot them in the arms, they've got no weapon, and it's just kind of ridiculous. It's too powerful.
Well, I guess it is just personal preference at the end of the day, but I like it like that. Now, I don't know what quest they're trying to do in the background here, but one quest I do remember doing is, you remember the Repcon one with all the ghouls that go into space?
Oh, come fly with me.
Yeah, that's the best one in the game, surely.
Oh, that's such an iconic mission, especially the Flight of the Valkyries soundtrack. It just made it so perfect.
I think if you ask any person who's played Fallout, they'll tell you that's the quest that they remember the most.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely the most standout-ish compared to everything else.
Oh yeah, 100%, especially because it's got its own like cinematic involved with it as well.
Oh, definitely. I do remember you're able to do the alternative ending where you can force them to crash as well.
Yeah, if you like sabotage the rockets or like don't give them fuel or something like that, then they just like fly out of control and crash land. It almost feels like that was like a modded quest because of the quality, because it was so different to the rest of the game. But when you look at all the modded quests for this game and mods in general, then it's quite obvious that what is in the game, what isn't in the game.
Yeah, at least the in-game quests, they might seem a bit crazy, but at least they stick with the lore. The mods can just be anything. I mean, they keep the game alive. They keep it fresh for anyone who's put, say, 1,000 hours into the game. But you can definitely tell a difference between a mod and the standard quests.
Yeah, 100%, because there's just so many out there as well, like gameplay, quests, weapons, any kind of content that you want added to the game has probably been added to the game via a mod.
It definitely keeps the game alive.
Not to say that the game needs keeping alive, like in terms of when you're playing it, but in terms of people like coming back to it and picking it up and even like replaying it, in that respect, then mods are really, really good. But I think New Vegas does a really good job of like gripping you from the start, because like the setting of the Mojave Wasteland is really, they just done it, like nailed it perfectly, because it's just so like, well, awful being in the wasteland, because anything can kill you and anyone can kill you as well.
Oh, definitely. There's a few monsters out there that everybody has experiences with. Probably the most notable being the Cazadors, since they're right by the village you spawn in. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's not kind of ridiculous, it is ridiculous. You either go right and kill Deathclaws, go left and get killed by Cazadors, or you chance it, or go like the main quest, which is the way the game wants you to go.
I mean, at least it definitely gives you the sense of a wasteland.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Any wrong step will kill you.
And it's not just like the geckos or the Radscorpions either. All the raiders and the ghouls that wander around as well, that can just jump out at you any time as well.
Oh, definitely. They definitely make for some memorable moments, especially with how random it could be. The Wild Wasteland perk, that makes the game just so much better.
Yeah, the perks at the start aren't anything to write home about, so you always pick Wild Wasteland, and whatever other perk it is you want, because that just makes the game, it just adds even more to the game. Even if you've never played the game before and you pick Wild Wasteland on your first playthrough, like you can tell like this isn't supposed to be here, like Indiana Jones in the fridge, or the alien that crash lands in the mountain. That's like one of the best energy weapons in the game, that alien blaster.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you have to be a certain level for it to spawn, but it just makes up for
100%.
it. It's a completely random event, but it just makes the game so much better.
100%. And like, I never usually go for the energy weapons because I usually play more like melee and like unarmed in Fallout, because I feel like there isn't a meta for Fallout games, but I feel like it's off meta and like anti-Fallout to go like melee and unarmed. So I always play the games like that. So how do you usually play it? Like, what do you usually do?
The biggest meta for me, as far as playstyle goes, would probably be the charisma / speech, or even barter, because you can talk anyone into anything in this game. You can persuade them to give up their life's fortune if you really wanted to. It's almost broken.
Oh yeah, no, it's not all, it's 100% broken in Fallout New Vegas.
Especially how you can convince like the end game boss to pretty much just give up on a war.
Hey, maybe you just had a change of heart and you're just your way with words convinced him otherwise.
How?
To an adorable little game.
Oh, an adorable ending.
So overall, Fallout New Vegas is still my favourite Fallout game, even after all these years, because it's just packed full of content. What about you?
Well, the nostalgia's definitely kicked in for me. It's definitely made me want to go back and revisit this great world. I may not have played it too much, but I think it's time to get back into it. Fallout New Vegas is a game dear to our hearts, and it retains the magic that captivated audiences some 11 years ago. Its rich storyline and diverse characters keep the game interesting regardless of how many playthroughs you do. New Vegas' modding community remains active and still produces content for players wanting to expand the vanilla game experience. In short, you've played Fallout New Vegas before, it's worth the revisit, and if you haven't, now is as good a time as any to jump back into the Mojave.